impact it may have on your day. That's all after the BBC News Read this morning by Charles Carroll.
More than 93,000 homes and businesses are without power in Northern Ireland, where a red danger to life warning is enforced because of Storm Eowyn. Police have told people not to travel and to expect disruption to public services. Winds of 114 miles per hour have already been recorded in the Irish Republic. It covers much of the southwest coast and the central belt, including Glasgow and Edinburgh. Many schools are shut and much of the transport network has been closed down. Helen Harris, who owns a hotel on the southwest coast, told us she'd already lost power. Amber warnings are also in place for the rest of Scotland, North Wales and Northern England. All flights, ferries and buses have been cancelled in the Isle of Man, where everyone has been told to stay indoors.
Hello there. Well, Storm Eowyn, is that how you pronounce it? Storm Eowyn has been and gone. It didn't really hit us very much in Ventnor. What a lovely afternoon. Actually, the sun is beginning to appear over there. See if I can get the camera pointing at the sun. It's up there somewhere. Look at the sea. Let me turn you around. Hold on. That's better. Love the light on the sea when the sun is like this. That's absolutely beautiful. There is the sun. It's another mild day. It was windy earlier, but it's not been particularly blustery down here. I think the next storm, which is going to be Sunday, Monday, is going to be more, or is going to affect us down here on the Isle of Wight more than the current one, which has now gone through. Well, I think is up in northern Scotland now. Hasn't really affected us down on the south coast at all. What a lovely view though, eh? Look at that. Can't beat Ventnor really, even in winter. Cannot believe it's approaching the last week in January 2025. Let's swing you around. You can see these little snowdrops. Hold on. Don't know if you can see those. So let's zoom in a bit. Old snowdrops in flower. I can't really tell how clear that is. But yeah, it's already approaching. Put the tracking back on. I do love this little camera. It's already approaching well, February, and as far as I'm concerned, getting into the spring now. Not far off. Some of the birds are starting to nest. The ravens will already have eggs, or probably chicks actually. They've removed the bench that I normally sit on. I'm up at the Riviera Terrace at the Royal Hotel in Ventnor. There's Ventnor Bay. Put you down a bit. There's Ventnor Downs up the top. Oh, there's the bench over there. Don't know why they put it over there. Put it round the corner. So as ever, I'm really not enjoying this winter. I normally don't mind winters too much, but this one has just been a bit dragging on a bit, even though it's not really been that cold. Back in Ventnor, winter is drawing to a close, and I hope it's going to be a really lovely summer. What we could really do with is no wind. The last couple of summers have just been incessant wind and below average kind of temperatures, although apparently it's been the warmest few summers on record, the last few summers. Apparently, well, not apparently, according to the data. But it hasn't felt it this winter, although, to be honest, I got a really good sleeping bag, so a -10, I think it is, or might be -25, I can't remember, sleeping bag, which is means it's just really warm in the car. So it's a combination of the car being very small and the sleeping bag being really big. So yeah, that's a lesson to me for the future. Is, well, not that I'm going to be sleeping in a vehicle over winter ever again. Hopefully, if all goes to plan. Speaking of all going to plan, so I have written a bit more in one of the books, the one about van life, which is going to be published very soon. I've been saying that for probably a month and a half, 2 months now, but that one is close to being ready to put out. And by put out, I mean I'll write the manuscript using voice to text on the phone and doing a bit of typing, mainly voice to text, on make a rustly sound on the microphone on my little iPhone mini, which I love. So voice to text on that, do the editing on that, then use draft to digital to format the manuscript as an EPUB and as a PDF for print on demand, as a paperback and hardcover. Then use Canva to design the book cover, and then publish on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and then on draft to digital to go to every other bookshop, every other online bookshop. So just about every bookshop you go to on the high street has an online bookstore. Unfortunately, those, so you can buy the books on their online bookstore, but unfortunately those same bookshops will not generally stock self-published books unless they're very local interest. So if you go into a Waterstones, there'll be a kind of a local interest section which will have locally written books on ghost walks and countryside walks, that kind of stuff, that's just been self-published by individuals. But beyond that, they tend not to stock independently published books, which is a bit weird. So you get people saying Amazon is evil because it's making local bookshops go out of business, which it clearly has done, but equally the local bookshops won't publish independent, so they're independent bookshops, but they won't publish independent books by independent authors like me. Some of them do, so the local post office in Ventnor will, and the Longshoremen's Museum down on the beach will stock my book, but Waterstones in Newport on the Isle of Wight more than likely won't stock my book because I'm independently published. I'm not a big publisher, so they're quite happy to publish Collins, so a book published by Collins, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch News Corporation. So they're quite happy to publish these independent bookshops. They're quite happy to publish kind of mega corporation publishers like Collins, but they're not at all happy to these independent bookshops to publish independently published books, or to stock independently published books written by indie authors like me, which is very, very strange. So don't criticise Amazon too much, because although it is a big evil multinational, in terms of independent book publishing, it makes it possible for me to publish books on the world's biggest bookshop. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? That wasn't my intention. Don't know what got me onto that subject. What do you think of the little microphone, the mini DJI Mini, made by the same Chinese company as the Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm recording this on? I think it's a really nice little microphone, and I think I really like the Osmo Pocket 3. It's following me around, as you can see. I'm just jabbering on now about nothing in particular. I'm going to go and carry on having a walk, I think. Oh, hang on. It's a Chiffchaff calling. So Chiffchaff is a little tiny kind of greeny yellow warbler, kind of sparrow size. And ordinarily the vast majority of the millions of chiffchaffs that breed in Europe, they're all down in sub-Saharan Africa at this time of year in winter. They'll be working their way north again soon, migrating north again, but a few of them hang around in winter in mild parts of Europe, such as the Undercliff on the Isle of Wight, where we are now. And they stay here because it stays warm enough for them to survive, and they're an insect eater, and it's warm enough, mild enough for the insects to still be active throughout the year, so there's enough food for them, so they basically don't bother migrating. They just stay here and run the risk of a really cold snap, making all the insects. I think there were two chiffchaffs here, two just flew down, or one flew down, then another. So yeah, it's warm enough here to keep the insects going, but if there is a cold snap, the insects are all killed, and then the chiffchaffs starve to death, unfortunately. So they do take a bit of a risk. Another bird's just flown down, that can't be a third one. It's probably a blue tit, long-tailed tit, great tit flock somewhere. They get in with the flocks of little local birds. Anyway, I am going to go for a walk now because it's getting quite chilly.